Hey guys, Zmysteryman here, and today I decided to make a new segment. Well, I haven't been doing any segments, but I've been watching a lot of videos on YouTubers, and they have segments. So I decided to put some segments on my channel. And the first segment I'm going to be doing is called "What's on My Mind," and what this thing will include is kind of obvious, but what's on my mind? And it will kind of include Yu-Gi-Oh stuff, and may sometimes may not include some Yu-Gi-Oh related stuff. But yeah. But yeah, and for the first episode of What's on My Mind, I'll be doing kind of three things. So yeah, first thing is why cards have to cost so much money in Yu-Gi-Oh! Plus, I'll give you some tips on how you can save money. The second topic is how Yu-Gi-Oh! Is a great way to make friends. And third thing is originality. And what I mean by that, people cannot make an original deck. Yes, let's get started. So yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh! Yes, it's a fun game. You can make friends. You can do that. You get to play a children's card game. But the hard part is, it costs so much money to play this. So yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh! And like, I don't get why Konami does this. They print out cards, no problem. Then they come along. Sometimes they'll print a card. It's like ridiculous. It goes for $109 to $10, and they expect you, if you don't pull it, oh, they can get it, and they want you to go buy it. Well, it's kind of ridiculous. Like Zmysteryman and Card D, those cards were like $109, $10, and like, ooh, seriously, a piece of paper that is just shiny and just glimmers, and that's $109. So that's like me saying I go do something like paint art, get a piece of paper and do the same process how they make the cards. And then I do this, and they're like, with Stickman, and then I do that thing, and like, oh, it's super ultra rare card. I'll give you $110 for this card, and you buy it. No, it's ridiculous. Cards should not be worth so much money. It's a freaking piece of paper, for crying out loud. Yeah, I have a story to go along with this. So my friend Jazz, he goes to this tournament that happens on a Sunday. So yeah, he goes there, and this guy, I went there once, but this guy, he had like a Zmysteryman. And what I heard from all the other players is like, he's a really good player. The reason why he's a good player, he may be a good player, but this is ridiculous. He spent over $300 just so he could get his hands on the Zmysteryman, and I'm like thinking like, are you an idiot, for crying out loud? You're willing to spend $300 on a single card that you might not possibly pull, so you may have to spend more money on it. And the $300 weren't just on. He spent $300 on 3 boxes of Photon Shockwave, which Zmysteryman came out originally. So yeah, I'm thinking like, this is ridiculous. This kid has no sense for money. He's a bloody greedy bastard. I mean, I'm not saying I'm perfect, but this is ridiculous. With that much money, you could actually help like charity and other stuff, and help to solve disease. But no, you're going to spend your money on a flipping card. Wow, just wow. So yeah, I'm thinking like, this is ridiculous. So yeah. And now on the good side of it, now some tips on how you can save money. So yeah. Tip number 1. Don't always buy cards that come out earlier. I know it's kind of obvious, but just don't buy cards that come out too early. Wait a couple months. Because Like, for example, this deck, my anti-Mechlord Synchro Fiend deck, costs around $20 to $30, or maybe 10. It was $10 to $20. I think the only reason why it's worth this amount of money is why it went up a little bit in price, is because of these two cards. They jacked up the price of this deck by a little bit, but that's the only reason. And what I'm referring to is, don't buy cards when they come out a little bit later. Like, for example, Return to Do, Special Edition came out with TCG, Hyper Librarian, and Acid Golem. Those cards were originally not available to the public, only except by buying Shonen Jump, which now is Alpha. Same thing with the new Hanzo Tin. It comes out with Max C, Rescue Rabbit, Shockmaster, and I think that's all. And Tuna getting another reprint, which is kind of good for players who don't have a tour guide, never couldn't pull one out of the battle pack. So yeah, it's really good. And tour guides going now drop in price, meaning that you can get your hands on a tour guide, a Max C, a Shockmaster, I think a Rescue Rabbit, a Max C, a Shockmaster, and that's not hard. And a Turles. Yeah. Tip number 2. And tip number 2 is, don't always buy cards just because you need a card. If you need to buy cards, don't buy packs. Try buying single cards. Like, for example, I needed to get a couple Star Mornings. I only had like 2, and I want to make a couple decks. So I went to my local card shop, and I bought them. It costed me like, maybe like $20, $20. I got 4 Star Mornings. When before Solemn Warning was like maybe $30 to $50. So yeah. And I think that might be, and for my third, well, my first tip also goes along with the second tip. Make a deck with what you have. And I think that speaks for itself. So yeah. Anyways, let's get on to topic number 2. How Yu-Gi-Oh! You can make lots of friends in this game. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is a game that was designed for playing opponents, where you can make a lot of friends this way. The same thing if you go do sports, or you for example, I take karate lessons, and I've met a lot of my friends that way. So yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh! Is a great way to make friends, because you have friends who have the same, you have people who have the same interests as you, so it's way much more easier to do that. And it's easier to bond with people, because you each have a common thing. I say also, this card game can help people with disabilities or people that are shy, because it helps people get out of their comfort area, and makes you have to talk to people when usually you're not very comfortable talking with people. So yeah, it's just a fun way to make something, and I think people should actually try this game out if they haven't. But if they haven't, I wouldn't force it on them. But I would say young kids should actually try this game out. You make tons of friends. So yeah. And the third thing is originality in this game. There is hardly any originality decks out there anymore. People make a deck, and then obviously, I'm just saying Asian players in particular. This happens a lot with Asian players for Yu-Gi-Oh! Not all, but the really ones that spend X amount of money, Is he a deck list? They're gonna copy the entire deck. They're not gonna run their own ideas in the deck. They just want to make a quick, easy buck and win this thing. And how do you do that? They're going to just copy someone's deck from a YCS or regional. Sorry, my phone just went off. But yeah, it makes. Then what's the whole point of playing a fun game when you can't think of a deck? You just want to make a win, so you just copy someone's deck. Like, I have my Blackwing box. I did look. I'm not saying I didn't do it. I was trying to look at a Blackwing deck to make. I was having problems making a Blackwing deck. I couldn't make one. I was watching videos, and I couldn't find myself. Oh my gosh, I can't even make one. And then it hit me. Has anyone ever made a Chaos variant version of Blackwings? So I'm thinking like, I think no one's ever done this. So I started putting it together. And to my surprise, the deck actually ran extremely well. So yeah, it ran BOS. BOS you don't usually see in a Blackwing deck. Another card you don't see in a Blackwing deck usually is Thunder King. You hardly ever see this card in a Blackwing deck. The Blackwing decks are meant to swarm. This deck, on the other wire, is meant to control your opponent. And then, when the timing is right, you swarm the field. It also contains... I need to find it. Effect Failure. I don't know what Blackwing deck on this side, but this card is really well. It helps you to the this effect. You really know what it does. But yeah, this deck helped me. I made on my own. It didn't take me that long. I found a theme of the deck I wanted to run, and I made it. But on the way, I decided to modify the deck and make another one. Same thing goes with my Dark Anti-Mech Lord Synchro Fiend deck. It runs Thunder King. Well, yeah, it runs Thunder King. It also runs Darkness Necrosphere. It runs a Trigger engine, but it also runs one second. It also runs the Necrosphere. You hardly ever see this card run in a deck. I actually have made this card return. People are actually really surprised I run this card. They're like shocked because they don't expect this card to be run. Same thing with Resonator. I run 3 Resonators. But the reason why I run 3 Resonators is because I run God damn it. I run 3 card guards. You hardly see this card run anymore. Oh, Say it again. I want to say it again. I don't run it for the tour guide engine. I actually run it in a separate way. I use it to search. But people do that. Battle fader. You hardly see battle fader in a deck except for Final Countdown, a stall deck. You may see this card, Spirit Reaper. You may or might not see, but a card another card that people you don't see a lot these days is Nuclear Emperor Weasel. This card, since 5Ds has ended, you hardly ever see it run. The ad actually, you could call me a Fiend Master or something. I actually know how Fiend monsters run really. I know how. I've actually gotten Fiend monsters to work competitively. Please, I don't know the word, but it's competitively. You're competitively. Oh, there's a word. Competitively. It actually runs. It runs fine. You may lose a lot of rounds, but that happens anyway. But I made this deck. This deck is version 10.0, meaning that I've only spent so much trying to get this deck to work. It took me 10 remodels trying to get this deck to work. And I'm saying, oh, yeah. And I'm stuck with this deck along the whole step of the way. I may have not run the deck all the time. I stopped running the deck a little bit, but I gradually want to get back into it. But yeah, I've completely forgot my extra deck. Yeah. You would think that you would not see a Leviair in this deck, but this deck works perfectly with a Leviair, because the example of Doctors? Oh. Whoa, I'm flying, cards are flying everywhere. Doctor Necrofear! This card banishes monsters! You combine that with Leviair, it works so perfect. You can bring back a level 3. Another card that works great in this deck is Dark Highlander, plus we got 3 Dark Highlander is my favorite monster. We got Chaos King Archfiend. You hardly see Chaos King Archfiend run anymore. Same thing goes with Arrow Shark. Since Banished Fish, I have not seen Arrow Shark run in a deck. So yeah, and it's a very. This whole deck, it only runs level 7s and level 3s. It also runs some names Utopia. Okay, you hardly see Utopia and Giga Brilliant, but some of these cards in these decks you haven't ever seen in the decks for a long time. So yeah, that was on my mind today. How'd you like my new segment? Did you like it? Dislike it? Anything I can do to improve it? Please give me a like of this video. Please subscribe for more videos. And if I get X amount of likes, I would say maybe, since I don't have a lot of subscribers on this video, I would say maybe if I get 10 likes, I'm being realistic because I don't have a lot of subscribers, 10 likes on this video, I will make the second episode of What's on My Mind. So yeah. So yeah, YouTube. Until next time, YouTube. Enjoy your night. Let's continue making friends in Yu-Gi-Oh! Don't spend as much money as you can on Yu-Gi-Oh! You can save a lot of money by buying cards later when they come out. And please try to make a deck that you can think of your own. So yeah, that's all the cards, that's all the topics I went over, and so yeah, until next time, YouTube, Zmysteryman, signing out.